Hello and welcome back. We're looking at chapter 18, which is our final chapter in our three-part mini-series. Today we're looking at the integration with the classics. In this chapter, there was a focus on the managerial grid. And it's kind of funny because the essence of this chapter is sort of all-encompassing. It's everything that was discussed in the book as it relates to everything that was documented outside of the resource. So this really works to connect what we talked about with all the other research out there. All right, so the key points. So there was the managerial grid. So this is a scale for, to sort of rank yourself as a manager. And it's on one axis, it talks about your concern for people. And then on the other, it talks about your concern for production. So for example, the country club leader is super high concern for people, super low concern for production, right? This is where it's all about making people happy. It doesn't really matter if stuff gets done. The impoverished leader is the zero concern for people and zero concern for production. This is kind of like we were talking about earlier, the cycle of ineffectiveness. So that would definitely be there. The team leader is a very high score for people and production, where everything's getting done like it needs to, and people feel like they're part of the process. The middle of the road leader is where you'd expect it to be, kind of smack in the middle. You kind of care that stuff's getting done. You kind of want people to be happy. And then you've got the task leader. This is like your shift manager who doesn't care about people, just wants the job done. Big takeaways. So one of the things that I really got out of this chapter, and I'm sure you all did as well, was different personality traits using the DISC system, where you can work to dominate, influence, steadiness, or conscientiousness. Where if you tend to, if your personality trait is more to dominate, like you're a driver, you're saying, hey, this is where we're going, I'm taking us there, hang on. If you want to influence people, you tend to be very expressive. Steadiness is someone who's very amiable, right? This is the person who, you can walk in on a day that your cat ran away, and they're going to be steady. They're going to be okay with you. And then there's conscientiousness, and this is sort of like the numbers person, like the bottom line type thing, or bottom line viewpoint, someone who's very analytical. Okay, so discussion questions. So I kind of went off the rails a little bit when it looks at personality types. This is the Myers-Briggs personality test, and I thought it was very good because it lets you look at how you are as a person and like how you rank things and how you respond to things. So if you guys you take the thing, it takes like 10 minutes to take, if that. But I'll just kind of talk about mine a little bit. And I know this is like totally thrown at you last minute, but for me, one of the big things that came about as a result of the personality test was that I'm an introvert, and I know it doesn't seem like because I talk so much, but I think it's interesting because, and let's just not go with Myers-Briggs. Let's go back one if we can.
Go back one, okay.
Yeah, let's go back one. Because we're gonna on the fly change this. So when we look at personality traits, dominate, influence, steadiness, or conscientiousness. What I think will be really cool for this discussion question is if we could kind of just talk about each one of these traits and which one you feel very strongly for, and which one maybe like which one's a strength and which one's a weakness. Sorry, we're totally changing the questions midstream, but I feel like this is gonna be a lot better. I'll go ahead and start. I feel like my biggest personality trait would be dominate. You can tell from the discussion, I talk a lot and I talk over people, and I'm working on it. But it's like who I am. I'm totally happy to be in the driver's seat. Let's go, rock on. I think something that I need to really work on is like steadiness, or to be amiable with people, because I can be amiable, but if it's not bottom line oriented and it's not relevant, it's like I'm kind of hardwired to just like it doesn't matter. Not that it doesn't matter, but it's like, oh, I'm having a really bad day at work. My hair appointment got canceled, or, I'm playing in a softball tournament this weekend and we didn't do well. And, I'm just kind of bummed out about it. I'm like, what does that have to do with you teaching? Nothing at all. Okay. I don't care. I mean, like I said, and I think with my personality, I tend to really think that what I think is the best thing. And I need someone to like really stand up and say, no, David, you need to look at it like this. And when that happens, my mind goes, moving on. What do you guys think?
I guess my weakness would be expressive. Probably expressive, maybe.
Yeah, I'm going to go with that too, LaShonda. I am one. It says that an expressive personality style is described as spontaneous, demonstrative, with opinions and feelings. I don't opinionate very well, and I don't let people know about my feelings. I kind of shut them off and kind of stick to myself and don't let it be known. But I think a strength for me would be the amenable, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right? The personality that the leader should deliver the message with warmth, of having, being friendly, approachable, attentive, respectful, and sensitive. I think I have those qualities as a leader, but I'm not very expressive.
And I would agree with what you said. My strength is being amiable because I am friendly. I am approachable. I am attentive, respectful, and sensitive. Because like you said, I don't like a lot of conflict. So I think that all of those traits suit me quite perfectly.
I think this group suits us very well because David is the dominant, the driver. And he just dominates he just lets us know what we got.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Because I feel like you have to have that person in a group or in an administrative team. Like, I mean, you don't want everybody to be their weakness be expressive, because then
nothing get accomplished.
Right. You have to have a variety of the personality traits. That's just my opinion. But for overall, our group, you have a mixture. And then you need that in your schools and in your leadership. Bless you. Bless you.
Excuse me. Allergies. Yeah. No, I agree 100%. Like I really want to see myself as like approachable. And I think if you're like me and you're type A and you don't mind just like throwing it out there and, hey, let's do this. I feel like I'm very approachable because you got something to say it. Don't care. I mean, not that I don't care what you have to say, but like you got something to say, let's talk about it, right? Let's move forward productively. And I feel like that can be very, very, very intimidating in a certain way because I think I'm very quick on my feet. And if you are someone who likes to have a plan and likes to have it written down, like one of my coworkers is an English teacher, and she wants a plan and she wants to like get information, go back to a room and like process it and like come back a day or two later and then kind of maybe talk through some ideas. Where for me, I can get going a million miles an hour, and unless you have a very, very strong personality type and you could say, no, stop, listen, I feel like it can be hard for me or I can come across as very like domineering. And I mean that in like the nicest way possible. But that's something I need to work on because I run people over. I don't mean to, but I get excited. And
I think with you, David, like you're compassionate about certain things, so you do get that overexcited, and you don't try to come across as being the dominant type, but you're just so excited that you just have to get it out.
Right, like there are times when I'll sit here and I'll like put my hand on my mouth because it needs to stop, and I don't mean to, because like my kids, a lot of times they'll ask me something simple. They're like, Mr. Roach, like what's your favorite book? And I'm like, let's talk about books. Like, and then there's like 10 minutes, and it's just like I really didn't need to know about all the Civil War things that went into this novel that you read when you were 15. I'm like, but it's cool.
Okay.
So like for me,
I hate to give you this comparison, David, but it just made me think.
Oh God.
Okay, you know how you just said that. Okay, think about Dory on Finding Nemo. If you've ever seen that movie, because I work with elementary kids, I've seen that movie. You know how she's all like, turtle or whatever she says. I can't remember what she says. But that's kind of how you do. Like, oh, let me get off on this topic. But that's okay, because I'm good, sir. That's just what made me think of that. Sorry. I know I'm way
Yeah.
off topic now, but
It's discussion about like your leadership style and like how you approach that as a person.
yeah.
Like I think like LaShonda, one of the things I really, really like about having you in the group is that like I'll have this thought and I don't know where the thought's going when I start talking, and that's a problem. But you'll say exactly what I mean in like half the words,
Yep.
a third of the words.
Very social person, but I don't mean that in a negative way. Like I don't like talking, but
Right.
more than
I just really appreciate it because it's like you're to the point and you're direct and you make a lot of sense. Whereas with me, I make a lot of sense up here, but what comes out is like 4 million things that we're going to put together to make a thought.
I'm the
so like,
same way. I know what I mean up in my head, but it's hard for me to get it out in a
Right.
clear manner.
Yeah, I feel like LaShonda, you're like that like sniper approach where I've got a really good thought and it's going to be right on message. And mine's like the shotgun. It's like, I'm going to throw stuff at the wall and something's going to stick. Oh, God, I'm going to be awful as an administrator. So has to be like, so what do you want? And I'm like, I'll get back to you on that. Oh, my God.
And that humor. You got to have that humor.
Right. And that's the thing. Like, I try to be really, like, open and I try to laugh a lot because I'm ridiculous sometimes because I am going a million miles an hour a lot of the time. And I think that it can come down as like very condescending if you don't put that humor in there, because otherwise it turns into me listening to myself talk, which is amazing. I mean, I'm fun to listen to, of course. Sarcasm. I'm using sarcasm, but it's one of those things where I think it's really beneficial for me to work with people who can channel that energy, because I tend to like swing back and forth a lot. So if there's someone like you guys who are fantastic, who are like, David, on topic, and I'm like, yes. But like I said, the Myers-Briggs, if you guys want to like take that in your in your spare time, or if you're bored or don't want to play Candy Crush or whatever, it's really cool because it tells you a lot about yourself. And for me, I'm working on reflecting more and improving, or at least making it so I can interact better. Yeah, I use it as a reflective tool.
Very good.
Good.
I think I'm going to take that test and see. It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Next Zoom session, let me know what you are, and I'll let you know what I am.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah. I'll do it too. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to stop
But,
sharing the screen. Is there anything else? Are we done? Were we done?
I think I'm done. I need to be done.
All right. Well, I guess that concludes our session 3 of our midterm. Anybody else don't have anything? I won't stop recording.